Guys, help. Help me.
Whoa, where'd you come from?
What do you need, Will?
I traveled back in time again.
Again, dude. You gotta stop doing that.
I know. And I figured out the flux capacitor and everything, and I got back to 2025. But then I traveled back again to 2007.
Oh, dude.
Oh, no.
You should buy a house now.
I know, but I'm really confused.
Yeah, what's going on?
I'm really confused. There's only one famous person with the last name Bieber.
Oh.
Shane doesn't exist. Or he's in high school or something. I don't know. Also, I did go to the theater and saw this really good movie called There Will Be Blood. You guys should watch it. It's pretty good.
Does it have anything to do with milkshakes? Because I really like milkshakes, and I would be harmed if someone drank mine.
How did you know, Oliver? But also, something weird is happening.
Mm-hmm.
The Rockies are in the World Series.
The Colorado Rockies.
Yes.
Tell me how that one goes.
Well, let's talk about it.
There's a trophy on your shelf. Does it belong to someone else? Well, we're gonna let you know on the Reward Show.
All right. Welcome to episode 12 of the Reward Show. I'm Will.
I'm Sam.
And today we have a guest in the studio. Please welcome Oliver Antone for his second appearance on the Reward Show.
In the history of Boston women's hockey, there have been five. Okay, my bad. It's a force.
Wrong pod, man.
My bad. You get the microphone. It's a Monday. The senses are in the wrong spot right now.
Yeah, the podcast gods, the podcast stars aligned tonight, and we were able to get Oliver on here. So yeah, we're going to have some fun with this. We chose this season, and we chose Oliver to be a guest because we are doing 2007. Oliver, is this the first World Series that you can vividly remember when it comes to the Red Sox winning?
Game over, series over, and the Red Sox are world champs again.
Yeah, no, absolutely. My parents threw me a birthday. So my birthday is in early October. My parents were like, all right, we're going to do a Halloween-themed birthday party for you. But since it's close to Halloween, we're going to do it at the end of October. And I was a little mad because it was in the middle of Game 2 of the World Series. And, 8-year-old me is sitting there. All my friends are, around doing, the candy hunt or whatever. And I'm sitting in front of the TV watching the World Series with my dad. And my mom is like, go outside.
You're like, everyone's like, yay, Oliver, it's your birthday. And you're like, you got to dive for that, Mike Lowell.
My wish that year was that the Red Sox won the World Series. And my dad was like, remember, again, typical Red Sox fan that had been burned by the Red Sox before. My dad was like, remember, you can't say that wish out loud. If it's what I think it is, you can't say that wish out loud.
It's like, keep this unspoken. I know what this is, but...
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, that team... You guys had a pretty fortunate draw. It was a great team. You were the best team in the league. In the regular season, you were the first team to clinch a playoff spot. But it did help that you guys only had to face the Rockies in the World Series, who were a pretty good team. I mean, they had Matt Holliday, a rookie Troy Tulowitzki, who we'll talk about in a little bit. So it was a formidable opponent, or I guess a worthy opponent.
Of things that would happen in Red Sox history, for a while, I thought sweeps were the only way World Series were won. Mm-hmm. The Cardinals won Game 1 or Game 2 in 2013, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's over. We're not going to win because we didn't sweep.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys, I'll leave you guys. You guys duke that out.
That episode's not going to be a fun one.
No, Oliver has to be a guest. Oliver has to be a guest.
I know, dude.
I'm picking Johnny Gomes. I don't care what his stats were.
For what?
Everything. Cy Young, Johnny Gomes.
Braves legend Johnny Gomes.
Has there ever been a player to earn a walk-off on a tripping over player out of position other than that game?
Oh,
Okay,
the obstruction
that World
call
Series had that ending, and then the Colton Wong getting picked off at first ending.
By
So there
Koji
was
Uehara.
two weird endings to baseball games in that World Series that that was just vibes were off. It was just weird. That's never happened
you,
again.
One of the greatest World Series of all time, in my opinion.
On the other side, the vibes were immaculate.
Yeah,
I bet.
they were. With the beards, those shirts that they had made of the beards. Of
Was
everyone.
that year?
I think so.
My 7th grade teacher had a magnet that she put on the chalkboard that was "Believe the Beards," and it was every player's beard, and it took up most of the chalkboard, and she did not take it down. Stephen Drew was on that team.
Why are we talking about
We've already mentioned
2013?
John
Why
Gomes.
are we? I don't
Shane
want
Victorino,
to be.
because it's great. It's amazing. Why aren't we doing that year? Because that's right. Because
We will get
before
there.
the Red Sox decided to fall off a cliff.
Matt Adams hit a
This
home run
happened.
off of Clayton Kershaw, and it was cool.
All right, let's talk about the 2007 Red Sox. One of those names that we can still talk about on this team is Dustin Pedroia, Oliver's favorite player of all time.
Rookie Petey.
Yeah,
Rookie Petey.
Short King, right? Isn't he
short king,
short?
like 5'7", 5'8".
I didn't have that. I didn't know that
Yeah,
until very recently.
I feel like I didn't really hear about a Rookie of the Year other than any candidates other than Pedroia this year, because from opening day it was pretty clear he was going to win it. But there were some guys. There were some good players.
I remember Daisuke was also on that list because this was Daisuke's first year. I know he's in the top 5. I'm going to guess he lands 3 because I don't think he was 2, but you'll pull up the list. But yeah, I mean, Petey had an awesome year. I guess we'll talk about it more when we sort of get into it. But people forget that he was ice cold to start, and then Alex Cora. According to Pedroia and Cora, Alex Cora was like, "Why don't you just try hitting the ball or try pulling the ball?" And Dustin Pedroia was like, "I never thought of that." And he's like, "I woke up at that point."
Hey, Dustin, there's a 37-foot green target in left field you can aim for. How about you try that?
Pop it up over that way.
Yeah. But yeah, the 2 rookies that year. Also, there was another rookie that year, Clay Buchholz.
Yeah, Clay Buchholz was okay that year. I mean, again, the no-hitter was awesome. I'm not going to ever complain about a no-hitter.
Yeah, we might talk about that in Moment of the Year coming up. You never know. There were some great moments this year, as you'll see. But yeah, the Red Sox were really good. Those 2 rookies, though, it was Dustin started out slow, and then he really heated up post All-Star break. It's kind of the opposite with Daisuke. Daisuke came over and was automatically he had the fork ball? Was that what it was? Mm-hmm. And then he kind of post All-Star break, they kind of started trying to figure him out, and they kind of started hitting him better, and he ended with the ERA over 4. But great rookie season, 2 really good rookies, and the Red Sox rode that team to a World Series. Probably David Ortiz's best year too.
You guys both vividly remember this season, then.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want me, Sam? I've tortured you enough. Do you want me to torture Will with my vivid memory?
By all means, be my guest.
So my first game ever attended was in 2007.
Mm-hmm.
May 19th. It was a doubleheader. So because the game got rained out, one of my dad's friends couldn't make the first game. Mm-hmm. Gave my dad, my dad bought the tickets off of him. So we go. It's my first time going to Fenway, and in the pouring rain, Mike Lowell hits a grand slam. The Red Sox put up 19 runs in a 19-3 victory over the Atlanta Braves.
I figured.
Anyway,
Yeah.
So let's move on.
Will moved on quicker over a regular season doubleheader loss than he allowed the whole World Series conversation to happen. By the way, just throwing that out there. But yeah, as we were saying, back to 2007, back to the World Series.
The Red Sox.
I could talk
beat
more.
the
Daisuke
we're good.
hit an RBI in that World Series. It was awesome.
Control of it after the tag. And now Matsuzaka with a base hit to left. One run will score. Veritek to the plate. Throw home is cut off, and Daisuke Matsuzaka has made it a 5-0 Boston lead.
The Red Sox beat the Rockies 4-0.
Rocktober.
And the Rockies have never been the same.
They had a few years in the late... I mean, not the same. They had a few years in the late 2010s where they were, like, wild card, and guess what?
They had some exciting guys. You know? They had, like, Cargo, Blackman, Ubaldo Jimenez, Arenado in later years. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But the mid-2010s, they were kind of, like, competing, but not really. Competing for a playoff spot, not for anything more than that.
Yeah, because the West belonged to the Dodgers and always has for the past, like, 15 years and for the next 15 years. All right. Well, I think it's time to reward. What do you think?
Yeah, it's probably time.
All right. Let's start with American League MVP. Now, Oliver, I'm starting a new thing. I started it last episode where in my graphic, I put the top 5 finishers. And then, so that we can look at guys who maybe didn't get votes or didn't finish in the top 10, the next 5 are the 5 most notable seasons deemed by me that are not in the top 5. You know what I mean?
Deemed by me. It's Will, the almighty deity of baseball.
Yeah. Do you guys know me?
Wikipedia.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. And what of it?
Here we go. AL MVP.
Ooh, I did not expect this because I did not go back and look to see who won.
Mm-hmm.
This is crazy graphic, by the way. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Professional hitter Nick Markakis.
Yeah, I know. But A-Rod finishing first, and look at that season. Hey, how did he do that, guys? How did he do that?
Grit and heart and hard work.
I'm sorry, it wasn't here, but this isn't safe for where it actually was. Isn't safe for the children in the audience.
But on the reward show, we take into account the product on the field and their production and the stats. That's what we look at. That's all we care about. We don't care about the means. We care about the end. And A-Rod's end had a lot of puncture marks. So,
you allied that for yourself and then you ooped it.
Thank you. I think that was an A+ on both ends, both me and me. But first place we have Alex Rodriguez, third base for the Yankees. He bats .314, hits 54 homers, 156 RBI, 143 runs, 24 stolen bases, a 176 OPS plus, and a 9.4 WAR. Just one of the craziest offensive seasons I've seen.
Yeah, that's insane.
And in second place,
I did not know what Magli Ordonez looked like.
He wins the batting title, bats .363, 216 hits, 139 RBI. These numbers for 2007 are crazy. Like, a lot of these guys. Then we have, in third place, Vladimir Guerrero Sr. It's funny that I have to put the senior on the graphic now, you know. That's .324, 27 homers, 127 RBI. This is later in his career, so our field is a -3, negative fielder, and he spent some time at DH. But early in his Expos days, he was an incredible fielder. And these
Angels,
next 2 guys,
Angels legend Vladimir Guerrero Sr.
Yeah.
I think that Vladdy is really trying to repeat or rename his father's legacy with his own legacy. He's staying in Canada, but I think that towards the back end of his career, I think he really considered playing in LA for his dad too with the Angels. I mean, could you imagine if Trout and Vladdy were on the same team? Could you imagine if 2 generational talents played for the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim?
Wait, how about 3? Let's go Trout, Ohtani, and Albert Pujols.
Dude,
I mean, that's just unfathomable.
Let's go, and
unfair.
also add into the mix 2019 runner-up for MVP, Anthony Rendon.
4 guys.
That
That's
team
like
would be
unfair.
crazy. Yeah. But Oliver, I'd like you to take the floor for our 4th and 5th finishers.
Yeah, Ortiz coming off of his record-setting for him home run season in 2007 or in 2006 rather, but this is still an overall impressive year for Ortiz. He's batting .332 with 35 homers, which in '07 again is incredibly impressive. 182 hits, 117 RBIs. He was not a full-time DH. He was a full-time DH, if you know what I mean, because 06 is really when they made that switch. But he played a little bit of first base. Terry Francona liked to use him when there were lefties. I can't remember at what point he would take, or he would put Ortiz at first base, but he would occasionally put Ortiz at first to sort of manage the lineup. 116 runs, 1066 OPS, 171 the OPS plus. That 6.4 WAR is one of his best WARs in his career. It might be the best, but I think 06 he tops it.
I think that 332 batting average is far and away his best.
Oh, absolutely. Obviously, that -1 R field is because he can't play the field. However, the 3 stolen bases is something to notice here. Okay, I think that's one of the more interesting factors.
Yeah, like
It's
how
more
did
than
he do
Guerrero.
that? Yeah, exactly. And then we have Mike Lowell. You love Mike Lowell, Oliver.
Again, Mike Lowell was my favorite player that year. He was probably my favorite player for a while before Petey passed him. It was this tritium of Lowell, Daisuke, and Pedroia sort of in this era of the Red Sox, at least for me. But again, Lowell bats 324. Lowell was not the center of the trade with the Marlins. It was Beckett. It was a young pitching prospect that went all these innings. Red Sox really needed pitching behind Pedro. It was a lot of this Pedro could be gone. It was this whole thing of, I guess Pedro might have been gone by then, but the Red Sox really needed pitching behind, Kurt Schilling. So Josh Beckett is the pinnacle of this trade. Michael is kind of this guy that was, he had a good season, let's toss him in for scraps. And Michael has an insane 06 to 2010.
Mm-hmm. And we will also see another member of that trade on another graphic. And then we have Jorge Posada. Talk about fielding at the other end of the spectrum.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, just
oh boy,
terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Why is he back there?
Give him a stool to sit on or something.
But
Jesus.
the batting averages in this season is what I'm looking at.
Yeah.
Because Jorge Posada, you don't think about him batting almost 340, And this is later in his career. He's like, 2 or 3 years away from retirement. He hits 20 bombs, 90 RBI, 153 OPS plus, and a 5.4 WARs. To be a catcher and be that negative defensively and still end up with a 5+ WAR is pretty impressive.
To still get played.
It's a genuine question, not to give a Yankee his laurels, but it's a genuine question of what would his WAR be if he could field the ball.
Very true.
Would he be in the MVP conversation? Would he? He wouldn't win because, But next, 8th place. Okay, so now we're jumping, because I wanted to include some guys who maybe didn't get votes, didn't finish in the top 10, blah, blah, blah. Ichiro leads the league in hits. What a surprise. This was his 7th straight year with 200 hits, which I think it set the MLB record, and he did it for like 3 more seasons after this. People say Ichiro's overrated nowadays. I'm not going to name any names. Will Stevens. But
I was like, you?
Yeah. But I have a problem when people say Ichiro's like a top 10 player of all time.
Dude, I got him top 10 all time, bro.
So Caleb's not allowed to talk to you guys anymore because he's poisoning your minds.
I'm saying that semi-ironically because I don't have enough knowledge, because I just found out about Roger Hornsby's bag, and I'm like, I need to learn more about baseball. But growing up, Suzuki honestly has one of those like mythological presences.
Yeah, he's a mythical
he can do things no
being,
one else can, and I think that elevates him in a lot of people's minds, mine included.
I don't know that anyone of this era did what they were supposed to do on the baseball field better than Ichiro did. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? He did his job perfectly. He's like John Stockton in basketball. He was there to distribute, and he did it better than anyone. Ichiro was there to get on base and steal bases, play Gold Glove defense. He did it better than anyone.
I agree. And look, the thing that a lot of Ichiro haters point out, or that a lot of Ichiro haters ignore, is he has that many hits and he started it in the MLB at 27.
I mean,
So-
if you include his hits in Japan, he has more than anyone, more than Pete
Yeah.
Rose.
Exactly. So it's a thing of he and Judge started in the same year. Are people going to sit there when Judge smashes some home? He's not going to break the home run record, but when he gets pretty darn close, are people going to take it away from Judge? And they won't. So
They
I don't
won't.
think that should be taken away from Ichiro. But yeah,
They won't,
but he was a
because he's-
consistent player.
The captain. He's Captain America.
Yeah, I hate that. I'm not going
He
to lie.
has-
Could not have picked a worse guy to lead your team.
I bet. Keep your eyes on the
bet.
ball.
I bet you think that, Oliver. Anyway, let's go on. Oliver, in the previous episode that you were on, we talked about Carlos Pena. You're very high on Carlos Pena. You said he's one of those guys that when he hits the ball, it just sounds different, you know, and he is. And 2007, he hit 46 bombs, 121
And-
RBIs.
The thing that I really want to talk about, what a golden era of uniform
I
right
was going to
there
bring
that the
this
Devil
up.
Rays
Gosh,
are wearing.
dude.
They switched to the classic Let's Be Baseball there. The Rays were behind the trend to leave the vest behind. And I wish they weren't because the vest jersey,
Dude.
the Rays vest jersey.
Them and
Rays make the
Rockies.
World Series the next year. But if it was Rays, Rockies, we could have had an all-vest World Series this year. That would have been really cool. I don't even know if the
They
Rays
could have
were
battled
good
it out.
this year, but
They could have battled it out to see who would be the best of the vest.
best of the best.
Damn,
Oh,
good.
That should have happened.
Right?
I should have
Still
fixed
can.
that when I was back in time.
Yeah, you should have injured. You should have, like, kneecapped Mike Wow or something.
Lowell.
Whoa, my
Whoa.
bad.
Whoa, the dude
Whoa,
already
whoa,
doesn't
whoa.
have a testicle.
Don't
You're going to go
mispronounce
for
it.
his kneecaps?
Yeah. I don't know. It's like, what movie is that? The Other Guys, when he shoots Derek Jeter in the knee.
He's a biracial angel. Anyway, next we have Robinson Cano, another,
Another squeaky clean player, right?
a Braves legend.
Didn't have that.
The 306 average is great. This is like his third year, I think, maybe his second. Look at the R field, man.
Wow.
I don't know if anyone played a smoother second base than him. Like, he was, there were better second basemen in the field. I don't know if anyone made it look better. We have him finishing with no MVP votes. And then our next guy, Nick Markakis, Braves legend. Early Nick Markakis. This is his second year in the league.
I was gonna ask because the 2021 Braves, he was on that team, right?
Mhm.
That's what I remember.
No, he wasn't. No.
Okay, but he
2019 was his last year, and then he
Really?
opted out for the COVID year and never returned.
That's insane. I'm gonna opt out instead of retire. Just never come back. I'm gonna opt out of the next podcast. You'll never see me again.
Oh, all right.
If you opted out, you still got paid. So, like,
That's
if you
true.
retire, you don't.
Yeah, I'll forward your pay, Sam.
Uh-huh. Sweet. I'll have to listen to this episode a bunch to like boost that.
Yeah.
Sam, Will is making .003 from royalties that you are not getting any of.
And listen, that's fair. I'm a talent on the mic, but Will's doing all the behind. He's a producer extraordinaire. He's making all these graphics. I just show up and talk ball incorrectly is like my job.
And that deserves 33%.
Let's look through this. Do we have? I mean, it's pretty obvious, right?
It was fun to talk about all the guys, but like, come on.
What do you think, Oliver?
He does not look happy.
Vladimir Guerrero Sr. had one heck of a season. Now
He really did. He really did.
It's crazy when when everyone else leads in just one thing at most. Mm-hmm. And then our number one
Yeah.
guy leads in, what, 6 things?
Right. And negative defensively, too. So, like, that means his WAR is not being helped by his defense. Like, that's all just offensive production right there.
This Alex Rodriguez season, probably his best season, which is saying a lot, because statistically one of the greatest players to ever touch a baseball. And that 54 home runs is still the single season record for a third baseman.
3-1 pitch is hit high and deep to center field. Back is Gathright to the wall, looks up, and this one is gone. A home run for Alex Rodriguez, number 50 on the season, and the Yankees now lead 4-0. 50 home runs on the year. Now, the last time a Yankee hit 50 home runs, you have to go all the way back to 1961 when Roger Maris hit 61 and Mickey Mantle hit 54.
Feels a little weird. Feels a little icky.
Right.
But I don't think you can take it away. It'd be fun to talk about who would come in second, which, I think Vlad Guerrero has a, David Ortiz has an argument. Like, there's guys that have arguments, but, like, we can't take it away from A-Rod. Like, that's just crazy numbers. Because other guys are juicing at this time and not producing that.
That's true. Oliver, are you in agreement?
I think you guys can take this 2-1. I will put a vote for all other 9 guys before I will put a vote for Alex Rodriguez.
Okay. All right. So the 2007
Abstain.
American League MVP reward stays with Alex Rodriguez of the New York Yankees. All right. Let's move on to American League Cy Young. Now, I usually use 5 guys on the graphics, but I'm doing the same thing I did last time. I picked the top 5 guys, and then 5 guys after that who maybe didn't get votes or didn't finish in the top 5. So, let's go to American League Cy Young.
Let's go. Right. Some Cardinal legends on this list.
Yeah. Some Red Sox legends on this list. We have CC Sabathia finishing first. This is a pretty even race, and we're going to talk a while about this. But we have Sabathia with 19 wins, 3.21 ERA, 241 innings pitched, 209 strikeouts, and a 1.141 WHIP. Great season. Then we have Nails, Josh Beckett. Oliver, you want to take this one?
I mean, Beckett was really Beckett in the 03 World Series was lights out. 9 innings, get yourself that win. What a way to set up your career. But Beckett in this season, you once asked me, Will, who is the more influential Red Sox, CC Sabathia, Kurt Schilling, it's still CS, Kurt Schilling, or Josh Beckett. And yes, I told you Josh Beckett.
Because I was putting together an all-time Red Sox team for, I think, the 2000 or the 21st century, and I was doing my rotation, and my 5th starting spot came down to Josh Beckett versus Kurt Schilling.
So again, Beckett goes 20-7 this year, 3.27 ERA. That 1.41 WHIP is extremely impressive. 194 fans.
1.14 WHIP.
Yeah. He didn't get any shutouts this year, but he has the complete game. He pitched 200 innings, 6.5 WAR.
Leads all pitchers in that.
That 8.7 Ks per 9.
Impressive.
What else can you say? I mean, and again, we obviously have an 11 Ks per 9 in this list, but when it comes down to it, Beckett was absolutely the guy that you leaned on when you needed a win. Mm-hmm. And I think when it came to the success for the Red Sox this year, Beckett taking that leap forward was the biggest thing about it. Yes, you added Buchholz. Yes, you added Dice K. But Schilling was kind of falling. Schilling still puts up a solid year, but Beckett just stepping up to that next level makes it all worth it.
Mm-hmm. Then we have John Lackey. He was a Red Sox, wasn't he? Mm-hmm. Later?
I saw him ironically pitch when he was an Angel.
Okay. He's the guy who refused to come out of the game that one time. The manager was like, come out. And he was like, no. And he was like, all right. But Lackey has a great year, 19 wins. It leads the league in ERA. It's weird seeing a 3 ERA lead the league, and I think that kind of corresponds with what we saw with the offensive numbers. They were so boosted. Mm-hmm. This just wasn't a great pitching season overall. But 179 Ks, a 1.2 WHIP, 2 complete games, both of them being shutouts. He led the league with 2 shutouts, 224 innings pitched, and a 7.2 K per 9. Really, really good season for John Lackey. Then we have Fausto Carmona.
He's the first guy. I do not know who this guy is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. Good for Cleveland? ?
Yes, Cleveland, and he later changed his name to Roberto Hernandez. You still don't know.
Nope.
All right. But had a good season. 19 wins, 306 ERA. These seasons are like identical.
Gosh, look. I'm just trying to find a guy I like, and
An
especially in these
outlier?
top. Yeah, and like, there's not an outlier. Like, you have to really like kind of zone in on one thing. Like, I think I have a lean, but it's like
Yeah.
I can
We'll
be
go
argued
over
off
that
of
in
it.
a little
Yeah.
bit. Yeah. And then we have Eric Bedard for the Orioles, who ties for fifth with two other guys who are much bigger names than him. He leads the league with a 212 batting average against. You could not hit this guy. And
Yeah.
10.9 Ks per nine. He just didn't pitch a lot of innings and played for a
Dude.
bad team, so he only had 13 wins.
Yeah.
So then we have the guys who tied with him, Johan Santana, who was not what he used to be, but still great. Leads the league in WHIP, 15 wins, a 3.33 ERA, 235 strikeouts, and then we have an early Justin Verlander, who ties for fifth with a 3.66 ERA.
Okay, like, of the 6 guys you've already named, even Santana's numbers are like so comparable to everybody else. Verlander's the first guy where I'm like, okay, he's not
out of
be
the
in
running.
the race, but like barely,
And then we go right back to a guy who should be in the race, who didn't
Yeah.
get any votes, in Dan Herron.
Yeah,
I mean-
there's no, dude.
222 innings pitched, 192 Ks. I mean, yeah.
And then we go to Scott Kazmir, who has a really good year, leads the league in strikeouts with 239. And then we have a reliever, JJ Putz, who has an insane season out of the bullpen. And with these starting numbers, I'm considering JJ Putz.
Can I tell you who I am leaning towards?
Yes.
I was leaning towards John Lackey because he has the lowest ERA. He has a WHIP a little higher than the other guys, but he's kind of threading the needle with the strikeout numbers, the innings pitched, and the batting average against, and the Ks per nine. But then, right below him, Dan Herron has a nearly the same ERA, a slightly better WHIP, more basically the same innings, lower batting average against, more strikeouts, a better Ks per nine, and somehow like 2 less WAR, which I don't get. I don't know, man. I might be leaning Dan
Herron, who
I think
got
I'm
no
leaning
votes?
Dan Herron right now. That's my lean.
I want each of us to come up with 3.
Okay.
Let me look over this. I think I've got my 3. Do you guys have your 3?
Yeah.
Okay, Oliver,
Yeah.
who's your 3?
So I've got Beckett, Lackey, and Herron.
Okay.
I think that Sabathia has a great year, but I think Sabathia is carried by his innings pitched on some of this.
All right, Sam, who's your 3?
Well, Oliver talked me off Sabathia because if it's like Sabathia or Beckett, I'd go Beckett. Also, that Ks per nine really is the revealing statistic there because I do like innings pitched, and that's been consistent with me throughout this show. Is I like innings pitched. I'm still Lackey and Herron as 1 and 2 because I do think of the statistics I like. John Lackey threw 24 more innings. I think that's valuable. The fact, though, that Beckett in 24 less innings has more WAR is also kind of crazy. But like I said, if you have more innings and a higher ERA or a higher like WHIP because of it, I'm not going to take that against you. Lackey has more innings and a lower ERA. His Ks per nine is 7.2. That's nowhere near the 8.7. It's definitely nowhere near Eric Bedard's 10.9. And that's where I wanted to go to next is Eric Bedard. 182 innings pitched. That's a little low for me, and that might take him out of it. But he has the lowest batting average against and the highest K per nine and the second lowest WHIP on this list. And his ERA is in a great spot, too, 3.16, which is better than Beckett, which is better than Sabathia.
And if
221 Ks as well. So that's
if
a lot.
I may emphasize this point as well, he pitched in if we go back to that MVP
very
slide,
true.
he pitched in a division that featured the Yankees, the Red Sox, and the Rays.
Very
I
true.
mean, half of his games in that division, he was going against A-Rod and Jorge Posada and David Ortiz and Mike Lowell.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's tough. I don't know, man. You can't go wrong. You can't go wrong
So,
with like 6 or 7 of these guys, but I think I'm going Lackey, Herron, Bedard as my top 3.
Okay, I'm going Beckett. No, Jeez.
It's hard, dude. It's hard. I
Okay.
don't.
It's
yeah.
really
I'm
hard.
going Lackey, Beckett, Putz,
Okay, there was one name we all said.
and
Just
it's
one.
John Lackey.
It's John
It's
Lackey.
I think Lackey deserves. I think Sam,
Yeah.
you talked me into Lackey.
Yeah.
I think as I talked more, I talked myself into Lackey.
Yeah.
And, hey, leads has only player in the American League with 2 shutouts.
It's got to count for something. But yeah,
Are we doing it?
I'm there.
I think we
Wow,
are.
I didn't expect this episode, but that's what talking does, and that means that the 2007 American League Cy Young Reward goes to John Lackey of the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. He doesn't have a Cy Young. We just gave him his first Cy Young.
Then I feel great about what we just did.
Let's move on to American League Rookie of the Year.
We can speed this one along, right? We know what's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, well, look at 1 and 2.
Delman
numbers.
Young.
Yeah.
I've never heard of a Delman Young, to be honest. Not
Dimitri
in
Young's
my
brother.
bag.
Is
who-
Dimitri Young in your bag?
Definitely not.
Delman Young had the biggest hit in Orioles history. It's the double down the line in the playoffs in the wild card game, and the crowd goes nuts.
Bases loaded. Young swings, line drive. That is down and to the wall. Cruz is in. Pierce is in. Hardy around third. He's going to try to score. And safe. The Orioles have the lead.
We have Dustin Pedroia, Delman Young, Brian Bannister, Joaquim Soria, and Jeremy Guthrie. All have pretty good years. I think if I'm going number 2, I'm probably going Soria. He had a good year out of the bullpen.
Yeah, 2.48 ERA, 0.9 WHIP, 17 saves. That's
But
pretty good.
Dustin Pedroia has a 3.9
I mean,
WAR.
that's a player's season. That's not a rookie season. That's like a great season out of a like actual player, you know.
Yeah.
And again, of things I need to note, that's a 317 batting average. By that game in May that I've bragged about already, his batting average was 109.
Dang.
He turned it
He
around.
took it from 109 in May
Yeah.
to 317.
All right. Well,
But Brian Bannister does deserve his laurels here. Again, what a rookie season.
yeah, Brian Bannister was great. Jeremy Guthrie with a 4 WAR, the only WAR higher than Pedroia on here. Pretty good. All right. That means that the 2007 American League Rookie of the Year reward stays with Dustin Pedroia of the Boston Red Sox.
Deserved. I'm
All right.
Yeah. I used to hate the Red Sox because they beat my team out of the 4 World Series my team has been to, and the 2 that we've lost, they've both been L's to Boston. And I didn't really like them that much. It's also like it's easy to hate on Boston sports. Like it just is easy to do that.
Yeah.
I'm a little more my heart is softening for Boston Red Sox specifically. Certainly not any of your other teams, but the Red Sox. I'm like, you know what? You have
mean,
very
they have the
classic looking look. Your uniforms are great. Your
They have the
stadium is
incredibly
whack, but it's
likable.
cool.
They have the incredibly likable Jaron Duran. They
For a certain kind of
First
guy.
of all, have you heard that the gay community has forgiven him because of
Yes.
his because of his
Is there a-
suicide
is there a
story?
graphic?
Which
they're like,
I love
oh.
that I genuinely love that he shared his story, but there were so many people that were like, because of what you did for mental health community, you are forgiven. Just don't mess this up
The
again.
pros have outweighed the cons for you.
Yeah. All right. I say this in a lot of episodes when we're getting ready to look at a graphic, but are you guys ready for some names?
I don't know. This is our league, Will. So like, let's,
National League Rookie of the Year.
oh man, bunch of guys I enjoy.
Yeah.
Ryan Braun is on the list of guys where I'm just like, ugh. Dude, what is that R field?
Yeah. It's Ryan Braun at third base.
And then George Lewinsky.
What is happening? You put them together on the same left side of the infield, and that's as like it
It's
equals
an
out.
average infield.
Yeah,
Oliver's dying over here.
that's
I'm sorry, it's the only thing you highlighted on this graphic.
Yeah.
For those of you
He
listening
led
to
the
the
league.
audio version,
Yeah,
only
Troy
thing
Tulowitzki
highlighted.
leads the majors in our field as a
at
rookie.
30 plus 31. Ryan Braun has a negative 32.
which means
That's
Troy Tulowitzki was 31% better than the average shortstop. Ryan Braun was 32% worse than the average third base.
It has to be the worst amongst like guys that played more than 50 games, right? Like
It's
the
insane.
worst.
I know it's the worst in 2007
Yeah.
of any position. Crazy.
Dude, I hate
think
this.
the question is, does Tulowitzki's R field make up the gap in offense between him and Ryan Braun? And I think it might.
It's so
One
good.
team went to a World Series, so
That's true. But also Tulowitzki, look at that OPS plus 109. It's because of Coors Field.
Dude, Ryan Braun, I don't want to give it to him, but
But look at the numbers.
everything offensively is insane. This is rookie of the year.
Mm-hmm.
That's
it is.
wild,
And
man.
again, Hunter Pence is out here too, having
Yeah.
Chris Young 32 homers. I mean, and mind you, Chris Young 32 homers, 27 stolen bases. If his R field was better, I would heavily consider him. But as
Yeah.
a rookie, you're fielding.
Especially in
Here's-
center field, needs to be better.
Here's my thing with Rookie of the Year. Again, your fielding when you are a rookie is almost more important than your hitting because you're still figuring out
It's how you
Major
show that you
League
can hang.
hitting. And again, it's what's going to happen like it does to everyone in their rookie year. Not to consistently be the Red Sox guy, but Christian Campbell is a perfect example of this. Of first 2 weeks, pitchers could not figure him out. Pitchers now know what he's doing, how his swinging habits. He's going to get better, or they're going to get better against him. He's going to adjust to pitchers. He is going to teeter and even out between 220 and 250 at the end of the year. Like it's what's going to happen because it's what happens with every rookie. What puts you in the Rookie of the Year conversation is things like this: a 324, a 291, a 322. But your fielding is where you are feeling it out. That's what you go in and you say, "Hey, this is what I'm good at, and this is what I'm bringing to this team."
Well, the thing I'm looking for on here. Ryan Braun and Tulowitzki. Braun has a much higher batting average, but Tulowitzki has a very good batting average. Tulowitzki has more hits,
more RBI,
more RBI,
More runs
10 less
scored.
homer, more runs, less stolen bases, but neither of them were really big stolen base guys. Look at the WAR.
That's it. And how much
Tulowitzki
is
has
that
almost
being?
a 7-year season. Also, think about this: if Platinum Glove had existed,
He
then
would've got it.
he would have won it easily.
So
it would have been him and Cano.
I have an answer.
So do I. Do you, Oliver? All right. Who do you say, Oliver?
Troy Tulowitzki.
Sam?
Troy Tulowitzki.
Troy Tulowitzki.
And it's hard not like you want to. I don't want to sound biased because I dislike the Brewers and I dislike Ryan Braun, but man, like I'm glad that you two are in lockstep with me. So
Yeah. All right. So that
tough.
means that the 2007 National League Rookie of the Year reward goes to Troy Tulowitzki of the Colorado Rockies.
I'm sure he is going to have a promising and long career after this.
Oh. Moment of silence for Troy Tulowitzki's career. Rip. Yeah, pour one out. All right.
How much my hand was shaking there. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, are you okay?
I don't know. I'm fine.
We got some names coming up on this list. Let's look at National League Cy Young.
Oh, I forgot this is the PV year.
Yeah,
Jake Peavy, man.
what a guy.
And again, Cole Hamels also on this list. Like Cole Hamels,
Yeah.
also what a year.
Yeah. PV leads the league in wins, ERA, strikeouts, whip, Ks per 9. In a
Yeah.
year where everyone else is hovering around 3 or more for their ERA, PV has a 2.54.
Yeah, that might, dude. This might be a short convo.
Yeah, but let's talk about these other guys. Brandon Webb, really good. We gave him a Rookie of the Year in a previous episode. I think the 2003
Would have been 4, right?
Yeah, I don't know. But then we did Brad Penny. We got Brad Penny. Started the All-Star game one year. Came in throwing darts. And people were like, you're a curveball guy. Why are you throwing 100 miles an hour? But then we have Aaron Harang, Braves legend, who finishes 4th with a 3.73 ERA. And then Carlos Zambrano, who finishes 5th with a 3.95. We have Cole Hamels with a 3.39. and John Smoltz with a 311, and Tim Hudson with a 333.
You know what I learned?
What is going on?
I learned that John Smoltz has played for the St. Louis Cardinals. Like last time we recorded, I just like found that.
And
it was, like,
the Boston Red Sox in
like
the same
4
year.
games. Like it was.
Yeah.
That's weird.
And he was terrible.
I thought, yeah. Oh yeah. He had positive WAR with us. 0.3.
All right. But
And 4-star. He was 1 and 3 though.
yeah, Smoltz and Hudson were just so reliable. They're the reason we did anything that year. This is the year that we were kind of starting to tear down everything. We traded away Andrew Jones, so that was a big thing. Then we got Takashi Saito out of the bullpen for the Dodgers. And then we have the other Chris Young for the Padres, who leads the majors with a 1.92 batting average against. Do you guys know what Chris Young does now?
Contractor? I don't know. Probably a photographer at the Masters or something.
He is the general manager of the Texas Rangers.
Really? Okay.
And he is also 6'11".
I mean, it's easy to get deals done when you're 6'11" is all I'm saying.
Yeah, you just kind of tower over everything's
got-
bigger in Texas.
You got the high ground.
Yeah, you definitely do.
But he also
What a second World
played.
Series, Chris. Then we'll talk.
He also played college basketball at Princeton.
Okay, sick.
Tallest player in Major League history, Chris Young.
Really?
Yeah.
No 7-footers up there.
No.
It is impressive to get to the major leagues from Princeton. I got to give him that.
Yeah. But is this a short combo?
Yes.
Yeah, it's Jake Peavy. All that being said, the National League, or the 2007 National League Cy Young reward goes or stays with Jake Peavy of the San Diego Padres. He had a great year, and this is like, it's not really an anomaly year. You know, like, he had a solid career, but this is the standout
He
year.
put it all together.
All right, let's go on to national. This one's so much fun because these are our guys, Sam. You know,
I already know.
we're going to go to National League MVP, and we have a name at the top that a lot of people don't have in their bag of winning an MVP.
Who won this year? Oh, yeah. This was the first of 2.
Imagine how many people would be on this list if they could DH.
Yeah.
Like, what is this? This is upsetting again. Like,
Why did he win?
Dude,
I
it's...
mean, he does go 30-40, which is big. You know?
Sure.
A 5R field. He's an above-average fielder. 6.1 WAR. But then you have Matt Holliday batting 340.
Dude, it's just like he does nothing, like... Jimmy Rollins does nothing.
To set himself apart in any stat.
Every single statistic, he might be the 5th best. And, like, when we've said that before, we were just like, this guy kind of has... I literally just said that about... Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
That means you get on base a lot, but, like, his
But that's because
OPS
he's
plus
batting
is
in front of...
119.
That's because he's batting in front of Ryan Howard, who
Who wins
47
next year?
bombs.
Who wins next year? So, like, a better player.
No, Ryan Howard wins the year before.
The year before, okay.
Yeah, Albert Pujols wins the next year.
Yeah, he wins 8 and 9, doesn't he?
Should have been Manny Ramirez.
Yeah.
All right.
Uh-huh.
Anyway.
You're done. You're cut off.
But next we have Matt Holliday, or as the youngins might not know him, but he is the father of Jackson and Ethan Holliday. And he has a 6-WAR season. That's 340, 216 hits. That OPS plus is insane, especially for Coors Field. A 151. You don't see that a lot. Next is Prince Fielder. He bats 288, 50 bombs, 119 RBI, 157 OPS, plus 3.6 WAR because a negative 15 R field. The corner infield for the Milwaukee Brewers in 2007 may be the worst corner infield defensively in history.
Let's go the anti-Goldie Arenado.
Yeah.
Jesus.
The anti-Matt Chapman, Matt Olson.
Yes. Gee, oh my God, dude.
Just terrible. Then we
Prince,
have David
yeah.
Wright. Then we have David Wright, who bats 325. David Wright never played for the Red Sox.
I know. I'm testing your knowledge.
Okay.
Will, there are points that...
If he had any
No,
of that, if
let me be clear here. I'm testing Sam's knowledge.
Oh, okay.
I would not have I would have questioned that, but I don't think I would have been like, oh, maybe he did. I knew he wouldn't have I was like, did he like have like an Anthony Rizzo Padres moment? That's what I would have guessed.
No, he's a lifetime Met. That was
Right.
very funny.
No, he is. I was gonna create a whole like 2012 lore of like they got him at the deadline before it fell off just to see if
I would have believed you.
All right. Anyway.
2012, I would not have believed you. I'm taking that back.
David Wright bats 325, 196 hits, 30 homers, 34 stolen bases, goes 30-30, 149 OPS plus. People forget how great he was, at 8.3 WAR, and that's helped by his 12 R field. Great defensive third baseman. This was his last, I think, great season before it all kind of started to crumble. And then we have Ryan Howard, who gets here solely on his homers. 47. Great. Prince Fielder bats 288, though. All right, and then in 6th place, we have I think the guy who challenges Matt Holliday the most in Chipper Jones. He bats 337, 29 homers, but the thing we're looking at is he leads the league in OPS and OPS plus, and has a really good defensive season at third base, which he wasn't known for, has a 7.6 WAR. Then we have Jake Peavy, who you got to look at him because that's an incredible season. And then we have Chase Utley. Chase Utley bats 332, 22 homers, 103 RBI, 9 stolen bases. All-around good guy, Chase Utley.
Couldn't care. Would never get my vote.
Yeah.
Should not make the Hall of Fame. If he does, I will burn the Hall of Fame to the ground.
Anyway.
I'll drive you there. I kind of want to see that.
He kind of looks like Christoph Waltz, but specifically
Let me
the one in
go
Glorious
through
Bastards.
again. I haven't
Oliver
been to
will
the
do
Hall of
the
Fame since
Oliver,
09, but
Oliver will do the same thing if Manny Machado makes the Hall of Fame. Then in 9th place, we have Sam's guy. Sam, you want to take this one?
A player who needs no introduction, the best right-handed hitter of the past, I don't know how many decades,
Maybe all time.
maybe all time. Albert Pujols in 9th place for no damn reason. Like, this is a top 5-4-3 season in the league. Bats 327, 185 hits, 32 home runs, 997 OPS, which not having a 1 there, you would think, oh, like that's, you would want a 1 daughter for your MVP. Matt Holliday is a 1.012, so it's like the difference of like 0.015. 157 OPS plus. Chipper Jones has him in that, but he has 8.7 WAR. Leads the league with a 31 R field. 31. 31.
Same as Tulowitzki.
Same as Tulowitzki. So,
Which it's not as important a defensive position, but there's something to be said for having a 31 R field at first base.
And you said
setting
Chipper Jones-
yourself apart that much.
yes, and you said Chipper Jones had a pretty good season. 4 R field is like meh to me.
Okay.
Because there's guys with 31, Will. Like, what is that?
That's
What
true.
is that?
Yeah, well, there's also
Don't say
guys-
4 is like crazy when 31 is on the table.
There's also guys. You want to look at that guy? Look at his R
Yeah,
field?
Oliver, this is your guy, right?
listen,
What's up with that R field at shortstop?
Yeah.
As
listen.
good as Tulowitzki was defensively at shortstop, Hanley Ramirez was just as bad.
Listen, he didn't play for us yet. He was drafted by us. He was traded to the Marlins.
In the Mike Lowell,
He
Josh
came-
Beckett trade.
Yep, in the Lowell Beckett trade. Again, I know you mentioned it earlier, just to pay off your full circle moment. But yeah, he maybe could have worked at third base if you really wanted to try that at that point. But first base and left field for Hanley Ramirez, you looked at negative 28 R field and you said left field. He can play the monster like Manny. And that is all I'm going to say.
Yeah. All right, guys. Sam, do you have 3?
Yeah, there's 3 easy ones on this list.
Who are they?
Holiday, Jones, and Pujols.
Okay. Oliver, do you have 3?
I agree. Holiday, Jones, Pujols.
My 3 are Holiday, PV, Jones.
Explain
Yeah, but
yourself.
Holiday was the top for all 3 of us. We all said Holiday.
I
first.
said them in order of what they were listed.
Okay.
I did too. I like Jones's season. I think Jones should be second on the list. But yeah, I mean, again,
I don't know.
Matt Holliday's
Pujols had a
just
great
legend.
season. He was incredible.
You'd put him 4th, wouldn't you, though?
I would put him 4th.
Okay. Acceptable. I accept your terms.
I would put Holiday first. Oliver, would you put Holiday first?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I think I do. And I want to, give Pujols... I'm trying to find a lane for Pujols, and I think Matt Holliday just has him. His average is better. He has way more hits, and that's what it comes down to. Because, Holliday has 36 home runs, Pujols has 32, and you could argue that's a Coors thing. But he also has 137 RBI. He also has 120 runs. That bodies Pujols' number. 151 OPS plus to 157, so you can say Pujols was the better all-around hitter. But he has a better OPS, and his batting average is higher, and his hit... those things aren't things that the Coors effect are going to take away. Your batting average... I mean, a little bit, but, your batting average, how many hits you have, how many RBI you have, and, how often do you get to... this is the one chance Matt Holliday gets, and I'm going to consider that. So I'm going to give it to him.
His team made the World Series.
That doesn't matter to me at all.
All right.
I will give the MVP to freaking Ryan McMahon if he's that good this year. But
All right. You're a real Rockies guy right now.
I just
I'll
picked
write
the
that
worst team
down.
I could think of, and I said I'd give it to
gonna
him
write
if
that
he's
down.
good. If he's good enough to get it. If he individually is good. Mike Trout's won 5 MVPs. He's never won a playoff game.
Well, that means that the 2007 National League MVP reward goes to Matt Holliday of the Colorado Rockies. We gave him his only MVP. Mm-hmm. All right.
Don't feel bad about taking that from... Dude, this should have happened. This should be as bad as the Matt Kemp Ryan Braun situation. This should be worse than that.
Not quite as bad as the Roger Peckinpah.
Yeah, that one was bad.
All right. We're going to go to Breakout Player of the Year. We have a Braves legend.
Corey Hart
Yeah.
and BJ Upton.
Yeah.
These are names.
All right. Let's look at this. So Corey Hart's first year, he gets
one at bat
and
gonna say.
strikes out. And then his next year, he bats 193, 11 hits, 2 homers, 7 RBIs, nothing. The next year, he bats 283, and he's not really a starter. 9 homers, 33 RBI, a 101 OPS plus. And then in 2007, he's their everyday right fielder. 295, 149 hits, 24 homers, 81 RBI. What are you laughing at, Oliver?
Do I have to say it? Look at the photo from 2006 and the photo from 2007. What do you think the difference was?
Yeah.
Beard?
The man's
How thick that
forearm
man's
is
neck
non-existent
is. Oh, yeah,
in
that's
2006, and he is jacked in 07.
That's true.
I thought... I'm going to be real. I thought Corey
I thought you
Hart...
were I thought you were laughing at BJ. Started out as a shortstop, went
Crack.
to third base a little bit. Yeah. We got 2004. He comes up. He's a rookie. Shortstop, DH, third base. Bats 258, 41 hits, 4 homers, 12 RBI. It's fine. Then he gets sent down. Spends the entire 2005 in AAA at shortstop for the Durham Bulls.
It feels a little... I just want to pause for a second. It feels a little crazy that the Durham Bulls, maybe one of the most famous minor league teams, is the minor league team for the Tampa Bay Rays, at least at this time.
I know.
How did that happen?
I don't know. But he bats 303 in AA with 18 homers, 44 stolen bases, or in AAA. So he earns a call-up, and in 2006, hardly plays. Bats 246, 43 hits, 1 homer. And then in 2007, he is their everyday center fielder, plays some time at second base. He's kind of a Cedon Rafaela kind of guy, and bats 300, 142 hits, 24 homers, 82 RBI, 22 stolen bases, a 136 OPS plus, and a 4.4 WAR. I think I have an answer here. Do you guys have an answer?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's BJ Upton.
It's
It
BJ
is.
Upton.
It is.
He
He had the
took
better
such
breakout.
A huge jump. Corey Hart in 2006 showed signs that he could hit for average, and then for some crazy weird reason, in 2007 his power, he figured it out.
Figured it out. That's all you can really say about that season.
Yeah, that's
Corey
exactly
Hart,
what happened.
Corey Hart, Brewers Hall of Famer.
Sure. I thought he was a catcher. I'm not going to lie. I thought he was a catcher. I don't know why I thought that.
Well, the 2007 Breakout Player of the Year goes to B.J. Upton of the Tampa Bay Devil Rays. All right, moment of the year. So, July 10th, Ichiro Suzuki of the Seattle Mariners is named All-Star Game MVP after hitting the first ever inside-the-park home run in All-Star Game history.
Sinking out here. It's gone.
Here's a shot into deep right field. Back at the wall. Ichiro hits it off the wall. It takes a weird carom, and Ichiro may circle the bases. In to score is Roberts. Here comes Ichiro. Inside the park home run.
August 7th, Barry Bonds surpasses Hank Aaron's record of 755 career home runs with a fifth-inning shot off Washington's Mike Baksick.
Deals. And Bonds hits one high. Hits it deep. It is out of here. 756. Bonds stands alone.
Gee.
August 9th, Rick Ankiel, formerly a pitcher with control problems, returns to the major leagues as an outfielder, hitting a 3-run home run in his 4th at-bat.
Seems deserving.
And in the order, no hits.
Ankiel out to deep right field. Has a chance to leave the ballpark. It's gone! A 3-run shot for Rick Ankiel back in the major leagues. Remarkable. 5-0 St. Louis. Remarkable.
September 1st. In his second major league start, Red Sox rookie Clay Buchholz pitches a 10-0 no-hitter over the Orioles at Fenway Park.
1-2 the count to Nick Markakis, 2 down in the ninth. All zeros tonight for Baltimore. Curveball. The 1-2 pitch. He struck him out. Clay Buchholz has thrown a no-hitter in Boston tonight, and it sends Fenway into a frenzy.
October 1st, the Colorado Rockies defeat the San Diego Padres 9-8 in 13 innings in the 2007 NL wildcard tiebreaker to secure the last of the 8 MLB playoff spots. This was the play at the plate where Matt Olson slid on his face, or not Matt Olson, Matt Holliday slid on his face that everyone knows about.
Jamie Carroll, the batter, to right field. Giles is there to make the catch, tagging is Holliday. The throw to the plate, he is safe.
It looked like Barrett stuck his foot out there on his bare hand right there, and the hand never got home plate.
And then October 28th, the Boston Red Sox complete a 4-0 sweep of the Colorado Rockies to win the 2007 World Series, and manager Terry Francona is now 8-0 in World Series games. Is this easy?
Yeah, it's Rick
I think it's
Ankiel.
Bonds.
Yeah. I mean, it's the all-time home run record.
Yeah, it can't not be that.
It's met with a lot of controversy, but
not on
it's
this
him.
pod. No. Not in this house.
All right. That means that the 2007 reward show moment of the year goes to Barry Bonds of the San Francisco Giants. Let's do some all MLB. Our starting pitchers are Josh Beckett, Dan Herron, John Lackey, Jake Peavy, and Brandon Webb. Our closer is J.J. Putz. Our catcher is Russell Martin. Our first baseman is Albert Pujols. Our second baseman is Chase Utley. Our third baseman is Alex Rodriguez. Our shortstop is Troy Tulowitzki. And our outfielders are Matt Holliday, Maglio Ordonez, and Ichiro Suzuki. And our DH is David Ortiz. That's a wrap on this episode of The Reward Show. Make sure to subscribe on YouTube, download the pod, and follow me, Sam, the show, and Boulder Baseball on socials. Stay tuned for more hot takes, more bad award decisions, and the same love of the game. Catch you next time.
See you next time.
There's a trophy on your shelf. Does it belong to someone else? When we're